tree's gonna give us shade. The tree's gonna give us fruit. The tree's gonna make sure the land doesn't wash away from erosion when the rain comes.
What is One Tree per Child Pittsburgh?
So this is a program that aims to give every school-age child in Pittsburgh and in the region the opportunity to plant at least one tree during their time in school.
It's a wonderful program. We do a lot of education programs in the school. A lot of schools have a lot of space to plant trees. Some schools do not. So we try to work with the grounds to see, is there room on the property to plant trees? And if not, can we visit a local park in the city or in the county to make sure those students are able to plant trees?
We've donated 16 trees here for the elementary school, and we're planting apples, plums, pears, cherries, and nectarines.
We have planted 200 trees in the last season, and we're about to plant 200 more trees this season.
So why? What is it about planting trees that you want kids to get out of that experience?
So we want to change the conversation, and we want them to start thinking about environment. We also want to give them the opportunity to participate. This is a way for them to give back to their communities and to get them started in environmental action.
Planting trees is so important. We love working with schools because the orchards have a dual purpose. Not only do they provide healthy sustenance for the students in their school lunches, but they also provide a tool for teachers to use in environmental education.
And so by planting these trees, it allows us to support our lives by giving off oxygen and stuff to our environment.
Ever plant a tree before?
I've only planted one tree at the beginning of this school year.
And that was part of the One Tree per Child?
It was, yes.
Was it fun?
It was very fun, yes. I got a good experience planting the tree, and I learned a lot about it.
So we planted these trees at the Greenfield School this past fall, 40 trees. A few days later, all 40 trees ripped out of the ground by a vandal. All the cages and stakes ripped out of the ground. The school called us immediately and said, we have a problem. What can we do?
All the benches and all the trees were totally destroyed. Every tree that was planted was picked up and uprooted, every single tree. So it was very heartbreaking. We had some students come to that school, the little kindergartens, crying that morning because they were so sad of the project that we did. It was vandalized.
When I heard the news, it just hit me like right in my heart. I didn't know I had so much love for these tree plantings. I felt so connected. So it was a really hard day. I was at work, they called me, and it literally felt like it was an emergency. So I finished what I was doing, I left, and I came here. But at the same time, it was an opportunity. Every crisis reminds us that there is an opportunity, that we can come out and do something great.
So we had the community and some friends of mine and the district reach out to us after about the benches. And we got 13 of them donated to the school. So Mr. Rosenthal and I kind of put our heads together, along with some other staff members, because right after that, the Tree of Life tragedy happened. And we thought, what a great way to bring all the community together and donate a bench in each of their name. Also, we added a Zone 4 in first responder because Zone 4 police officers work closely with our school and come up and make it sure that there's a positive influence with our kids, with the police.
It's just a beautiful example, and this actually made the community come together even stronger. So we created something even more beautiful after that sad event.
So for one of the benches here, Mrs. Stein was here.
Mrs. Stein was here, and her comment was what a beautiful occasion today was, especially because all the kids were involved in what we took on today. And that made it very special to her. And it was great to have her here as a part of the ceremony.
The next bench is in memory of Daniel Stein, escorted by Miriam Algalade and Cameron Ponderado.
The benches, well, we were so impressed how beautiful they are, and each one has the name of one of our friends, and it's just so nice that they represent and bring memories back of the beautiful times.
What were your feelings when they were bringing those benches out to put here and display?
For the first couple seconds, I could kind of feel my heart, and I had a picture of each one of our friends. It was very emotional, and then it gave me a moment of peace, to be honest with you, and I saw these young people coming out. They didn't know them. They didn't know the victims as we did, but it was just lovely. It was lovely.
Each of the victims would have been so happy and impressed with the show of affection that we've gotten.
I know all the benches are special, but why is this one special for you guys?
Joyce was just a beautiful woman. She was a very special lady, a good friend to everybody. She was a member of the board. She was very active, and she was a kind heart and had a kind heart and a loving soul, and was a good friend to us all. Yeah.
And Joyce was the person who would never say no to anything, and she came to services every day. She was always there, and Joyce and I, for every event, were always in the kitchen cutting and cleaning pots, and she did everything so quietly, and
she was really classy.
She was unbelievable.
Yeah.
She was unbelievable, and she would absolutely love this. She would love this, and I feel her spirit as we stand here. I feel her spirit.
Best part about this for you?
The joy of sharing and celebrating with kids and communities.
Every day is fun. High fives, muddy high fives, the smiles, the questions. When a student hears what you're saying and knows how to plant the tree and can identify a tree from afar, it's so inspiring.
It is awesome. I love working with kids, and this is better than teaching to the test in the building. I like rather doing this stuff. Working with the kids, working with the community, and seeing the finished project every morning and every afternoon when I come here and see how beautiful Greenfield is.
What do you hope the kids get out of this overall?
Inspiration to do something similar. I also want them to know that this is their legacy. These trees are going to be here for hundreds of years. I am sure when they grow up and they come back to visit the school, they're going to remember this day. They're going to remember they were part of this. It's a feeling of belonging. They're going to eat fruit from these trees. It's also the message of, there's health, there is environment, there is community, there is coming together. It's just very powerful.
We always plant trees because we know that you kindergartners, in 8 years from now, when you are in 8th grade, you'll look and you'll say, I was here the day they planted those trees. We know that you 8th graders will look back 10 years from now when you're in college or working, and you'll come back and visit and you'll say, I remember when we planted those trees.
You ever think about coming back here when you're all grown up and seeing a tree that you planted?
Oh, definitely. I'd love to see that. That would be awesome to see what you've done and show how you changed this school for the better.